Hey guys, welcome to PhoneRadar. This is Chetan, and in this video we will be doing the benchmark test as well as a performance review of this liquid E7 smartphone from Acer. The smartphone is retailing at rupees 12,000 rupees and is exclusively available on Snapdeal. And one of the major important features of this one is the triple SIM functionality. So it's not one or two SIM cards that you can place here, it's three SIM cards that you can place at once. So that is one of the main advantages over several of the dual SIM smartphones that are available in the Indian market. And this comes with a 5-inch 720p display, and along with that you get to see the MediaTek MT6582 processor with 2 gigs of RAM and 16GB internal storage. And one of the best things about this is the 3500 mAh battery in this. So everything is pretty perfect in this, and the only problem here would be for most of them that it doesn't lie in the budget range. It's rupees 12,000 in pricing, but still for us this was quite worth the price. But in this video in particular we'll be doing only the benchmark test to let you know the scores, as well as do a performance review with a few videos that we will play and run the browser and let you know about the multitasking. So first test that we will do is the Antutu benchmark test. So we earlier also did the same Antutu benchmark test and the score was 18,120, but we'll do that once again to show you the scoring. So we'll test it out again. So this is one of the heavy tests that Antutu does. This is one of the most loaded game videos that is with the highest graphics. So this is where you get to see the frames per second. The speed of frame loading is about 6 FPS, and that is quite normal for a 720p display, and this doesn't have a very high end GPU. So the score of about 5 to 7 frames per second is quite enough for this. So the test is completed, and now let's check out the scoring of this one. The score, as similar to the previous one, it's 18,711 points, which is quite lower than even the Asus Zenfone 5 and the Xiaomi Mi 2. But you can expect more than this for MediaTek MT6582, and whatever the score this device has got, it might be because of the 16GB internal storage and the 720p display and even the battery. So if you can see, the multitask score is pretty neat, and the single thread float point is somewhere you can see a lower score than normal, and the 3D graphics are loading pretty well here, and again the score is less in the storage IO and database IO. So this is where the Acer Liquid E700 stands with the Antutu test. Now let me close this application and go to the next test. That's this quadrant standard benchmark. We'll run a full benchmark here. So the frame per second score here ranges from 54 to 64. So that is quite a good score. This one is getting for the graphics loading, and these are the 3D graphics that get loaded in the quadrant standard test, and that frame rate is a very decent one. The test is completed here. Let's share the score and now check out the scoring of this one. It has got a score of 6,933, which is not really high. It is okay. It's not a score that you would say that okay, this device is very powerful. But again, the same reasoning here, that it has a MediaTek MT6582, that's the quad-core chipset from MediaTek, which doesn't give a score of better than this one. So 6,933 is what the quadrant standard benchmark score has scored. So let's get into CPU-Z and check out the scoring here, or whatever the specs are. And you can see that it has 4 cores with the 4x ARM Cortex A7 chipset with 1.3 GHz each. So these are the 4 cores, and getting into the system, it's Android 4.4.2 KitKat, and the hardware is MediaTek MT6582, and the Screen size is 4.97 inches with the screen resolution of 720 to 1280 pixels. The display or the screen density is 320 ppi and the total RAM is 1969. So this is a 2 GB of RAM device, and that is one of the good things because multitasking doesn't have any issues in this smartphone. And the available RAM right now is 1197 MB, and right now only 2 applications are running, this one and the quadrant standard benchmark. So at least you get about 60% of 60 to 70% of total RAM is available when you start up the device freshly after a boot up. The internal storage here is 12.87 GB and you have a micro SD card slot for expanded storage. There's no root access, and the battery stats here are something wrong, but it's 3500 mAh battery, and although it's a very good capacity that the battery has, we aren't really impressed with the battery life because what you expect from a 3500 mAh battery is not what you're getting here. So I'll be letting you know about that in my final review of the smartphone that will come in a few days later on. So these were the benchmark tests of the Acer Liquid E700. Now let me go into the performance review, and quickly, just before you try to open a few applications like the gallery and then a few apps such as Chrome, and this is just to test the multitasking where we try to have a few applications open, and usually we don't realize that these many applications are open right now, and because everything keeps running on the background and you don't do anything on the front except using the application that you are on. So right now it's about 5 to 6 applications that I'm opening to check out how good the multitasking would be. So to be precise, these are all basic applications. No application is heavy or highly loaded. A total of 9 apps, and in that you can see that we have one benchmark application, file manager is there, and Play Store is something a bit of heavy loaded. So while all these are running, you can see that there are a few options that the multitasking menu has got, and there's also this remove all option. If at all you are facing some issues with the performance or you feel that a lot of applications are running, you can just hit this remove all button and everything goes down. So let me now try to open the camera application, switch between the apps. That is very important because if you can see that I am now on the camera application trying to take a photo, and the photo capturing is not really speed in the smartphone. So now if I switch between the applications, you can see that it takes like about 1 to 2 seconds to open the multitasking menu itself. I'll directly go to the gallery. Now if I switch back to the main application back again, this is the camera app. You can see that it is not the swiftest. I hit the button, it would take at least a second to switch to any other application. So that is where the performance is not really great, and this is the multitasking test. So we are showing you how quickly or slowly the applications get switched between, and this is usually what we do. We capture a photo and then we run into the application or the gallery to check out the photo and share it to the social networks. So that is where the performance is tested, and you could directly see how the performance of the smartphone is. Now this device, Acer Liquid E700, has got 2 browsers. The first one is its own browser, that is the default Acer browser, and the second one is the Google Chrome browser. So we won't test the Google Chrome because that usually comes with a decent performance and such. So we'll right now try to use the Acer browser, and first let me close all the applications on the background. Now once I open this, I'll try to open a website. That's our website, PhoneRadar.com. You can see that the loading speed is always dependent on what the ISP speed is. So we won't talk much about the loading speed. We are right now on the Wi-Fi connectivity, and I've just removed the SIM card so that I can test firstly on the Wi-Fi connectivity how well does this go. So we'll show you the data network connectivity and all in the final review once again. This is a very heavy website of ours because it comes with a lot of different scripts on the homepage itself, and you can see that everything gets loaded perfectly and there's no lag or the page doesn't get stuck anywhere. So it's a very decent one, and with the browser performance, even with the browser performance there's no issue at all. Going into some other page directly from there, you can see that it isn't showing any issues at all. The pages are loading very normally. So in our final review, we'd be showing you how well does the Acer Liquid E700 perform with the battery life, and it was about 55 to 56% when we started the review with the Antutu benchmark test. So in this time frame of about 20 minutes or so, about 5% of battery is down. So as I told, for a 3500 mAh battery, what you expect is what you are not getting here. So in the final review, you would be getting to know about the various aspects apart from only the performance and the benchmark scores, and you can then understand whether this smartphone E700 is worth the price or not, for the price of rupees 12,000. And remember that this smartphone is available exclusively on Snapdeal. So if at all you wanted to purchase this, we'll give you the link down below so that you can purchase this one. And for me, even though this is a bit over than the budget range, still this is worth the price, because you're getting not a great processor to start with, but the display is good, the camera is neat, and you get this front facing flash for selfies, and there's 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB internal storage, so which all adds up to the price, and it is worth the price for me. And this was the benchmark test and the performance review of the Acer Liquid E700. If you have any queries or comments about this video, you can comment down below, and do like this video, share it on the social networks, and do let us know if you wanted to know anything apart from this. So do subscribe to PhoneRadar for more videos. Thank you.